So I want to do like a different type of video for you guys. Instead of like always reviewing a book or always reviewing a movie, I want to talk about some of my worst fears that are horror based. So I won't be talking about like my fear of spiders or claustrophobia or heights because they're not horror, and that's pretty common for people to mention because a lot of people are scared of those things. And I'll be excluding uh, my fear of clowns and dolls because they're also pretty common. And I wanted to talk about or mention some that uh, most people might not share. Well, maybe my number one fear would probably be pretty common too, but I'm going to share it anyway because it's my number one fear, horror wise. Not my number one fear overall, though. And I'll mention that too at the end of the video. But yeah, let's get into it. So, uh, number three is scarecrows. I don't know what it is, but scarecrows are fucking scary to me. If I see one out in the field, uh, I don't know. I guess because it looks like a person, and like my mind is just waiting for it to fucking move or something, or turn its head, or get off the cross that it's on and just charge me or something. I don't know, but scarecrows has always freaked me out. So my number two would be doppelgangers. People claiming to be somebody they're not, and I guess it's the mystery behind what these clones or whatever you want to call, well, doppelgangers, but like the false person that's claiming to be the true person. Uh, what is this thing? Is it like a ghost or a demon, or you know I guess it's just a mystery behind it that creeps me out. And I mean, it's just the fact of, like, let's say you're talking to your friend, and then they walk off, and then all of a sudden you get a phone call, of like that same friend. You can tell that it's that friend because, let's say, you've known them for a long time and you know that voice, and they're like, "Hey, just calling you. I don't know, on vacation. Just letting you know I'm here." And then you remember, oh yeah, your friend did go on vacation, and like, who the fuck was the person you were just talking to? Or a better analogy would be, I don't know why I said your friend walked off. Like, let's say you were hanging out with your friend and that happened. Like, your friend calls you and tells you something like that, and the person is sitting right there beside you. So, which one's the real person? I mean, I guess it could be like somebody that sounds like your friend calling you just to play a prank. But yeah, that shit just scares the hell out of me. I love stories like that. I listen to them a lot just to freak me out. And so my number one fear is, now this one is more reality based. Now I don't believe in the supernatural, but it still scares me. I still like those stories, even though I know they're not real. But yeah, my number one would be a stranger being in my house that's not invited, and it being late at night. I think about this shit a lot, because there's been um, some things happen, like, my dogs will start barking, and I'll start hearing noises around the house, and I'm like, ooh, could that be somebody, trying to break in, or somebody already in my house, like snooping around, trying to hide from me? That shit freaks me out too. Um, or, a stranger being at the foot of my bed while I'm sleeping. I can't stand that shit. That's why I always sleep with my light on, because my imagination is so vivid. That's why I guess I'm a writer. I have a very active imagination, and I could easily scare the hell out of myself. And that's why I can't sleep with my room pitch black, because I'll start seeing shit and then I can't sleep because I'm too goddamn scared. Yeah, I'm a big fucking titty baby. um, I'm 24 years old and I sleep with the light on. I'll admit it too. But it does help because I'll get up during the night and go to the bathroom. So I don't want to stump my toe on anything. So yeah, it helps sleeping with the light on too. But yeah, that's my number one fear. Um, well, horror based fear. Um, Now my number one fear, out of out of all of them, would be, um, all right. Now this one I'd have to explain why this would be my number one fear. I have suffered with social anxiety for a long time. I had to drop out of school because of it, and it's just got worse over the years. And I mean, I'm hesitant to call it a disability because I don't want it to sound like, oh, I'm disabled, and then it, you know, because I know what I suffer with may not be compared, or I know it's not compared to other people's disabilities. So that's why I'm kind of hesitant to call it a disability, because this would be like on the lower scale, I guess. If you rated all the disabilities, this would be like a low one, I guess. But yeah, I've suffered with it for a long time, and uh, it gets really lonely because it's hard to go and talk to strangers. And then like if I don't see you for a long time, even though I know you, uh, and I start to be around you all of a sudden after I haven't seen you in a long time, I'll start to treat you like that, or I'll start to be like that around you, just nervous, not talkative. And I can easily do this to, or I can easily talk to my camera, because I don't see you on the other side. I don't see you watching me talk. So all I see is my phone, and I'm not nervous. But and that's another thing. I've thought about this too. Like if my channel were to ever grow into the thousands, of subscribers, and I was ever like one day invited to conventions and stuff to meet you guys, I wouldn't be able to do it. I really wouldn't. Last year I went to a Halloween party because I wanted to um, try to get better at this, try to conquer my social anxiety. So I went to this Halloween party, and I was there for maybe a couple hours, and more people started showing up, and I was getting more and more nervous. And I had to leave because my nerves got so bad. My hands were shaking like that, so I had to come home. Um, but yeah, I do try uh, to get over this shit, because it's not fun. And so yeah, uh, my number one fear is my friends and family dying and leaving me all alone, because it's really hard to get out and talk to people and try to make friends. So yeah, that is my number one overall fear. I didn't mean for this video to get sad, but yeah. Um, but yeah, going back to the horror stuff. I like talking about horror. I love horror, and I do try to add a little bit of it on this channel. I don't get to talk about it as much as I want to. Even the horror books I talk about aren't like scary on the level I like. So every now and then I like to add a video like this to my channel and talk about some scary stuff. And the the stories that scare me the most If you're familiar with Mr. Nightmare, the stories he'll tell on his channel are really the ones I like, that really scare the hell out of me and have me looking over my shoulder for a while. I don't get that with books, and I wish um, books would take the example from these realistic stories. I mean, supernatural stories don't really do it for me a whole lot, except for what I've already talked about, like scarecrows and doppelgangers. Like, yeah, that's pretty much the only supernatural type stuff that I'd be really scared of. Um, but yeah, if you know Mr. Nightmare, you know the type of stories he tells, and or you know the type of stories I'm talking about. Just creepy as shit, and creepy pastas too, or some of the stories I really like. Now there's some cheesy ones too. Not all creepy pastas are good, but there are some really scary ass creepy pastas out here. And the more realistic they are, the scarier they are. Like home invasions or stalkers or something like that. Really scare the hell out of me. And so yeah, I just wanted to share that. I thought it'd be fun. Talk about some of my scary. I mean, talk about some of my fears. Um, Tell me down below what you are scared of. Like your top five or top three scariest fears. Um, Scariest fears. No, your top five or top three fears, and they don't have to be horror based. I just wanted to do horror based for this video, just to talk about some horror with you guys. But yeah, that will be it for this video. I'll be coming out with a few more videos soon, so look out for them. Like and subscribe, and tell me down below if you want more of these type of videos. I wouldn't mind making them because I really enjoy it. But yeah, guys, I'll see you later.